Good morning, my friends, and once again, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, we're back out here once again in the Hunter Call of the Wild, and if you guys seen my last Great One Guide video, where I actually went through in depth on how to set up, grind, and use herd management to spawn yourself a Great One, thank you all so much for watching that. But in today's video, we're going to be answering yet another very frequently asked question at live streams. We're going to cover absolutely everything that you guys need to know about setting up for literally any grind. It doesn't have to be a Great One grind. It's going to be everything from setting up with tents and tripods, what level you should be to even think about grinding, and a whole lot more. I do just want to ask of you guys one thing real quick before we do hop into today's video. If you please can go down there, smash that like button, and subscribe. That would be much appreciated, as it is the #1 thing that can help out with the YouTube channel. Also, guys, we do offer a 1-month membership to the YouTube channel. We did just lower it from $4.99 a month down to $1.99 a month. You guys can get anything from members only voice chats, being featured in live streams, featured in videos, guided diamond hunts. Check out the perks down below just by clicking that join button. It'll pull up the catalog. And without further ado, my friends, let's dive right in. Alright guys, so wasting no more of your time, we're going to go ahead and dive right in and talk about the first things that you guys should be doing before you even think about getting set up for any type of grind. Now, if you play on PC or Xbox, you guys are going to have to buy the Tents and Tripods DLC. I believe for us PlayStation players, it is free. It could very well be free for you Xbox players as well, but I know for sure that it's DLC over on PC. So if you guys go into your store or your cache and you end up not being able to buy Tents and Tripods, then you guys are going to have to get the DLC. Now, if you're very new to the game, I do just want to stop you guys right there. A huge mistake that I see a ton of beginner players doing is instantly wanting to get into grinding or trophy hunting in general, just not caring about the first beginner steps of Call of the Wild, which we all had to go through at one point. Now, I want to make myself clear real quick. Let me shoot this diamond. Perfect. Want to make myself clear. This is not a game like Fortnite that you can just get into and instantly start having fun, or Call of Duty if you're not a Fortnite person, or just any arcade game in general. This is an arcade hunting simulator, so there is some stuff that you're going to have to do before you guys actually get to the point where the game is insanely fun, and before you get to the point where you can just consistently harvest trophies every single day. Now, what I'm not saying is that's not possible right off the bat. It definitely is. But should you focus on that right off the bat? That's entirely your choice. My recommendation would always be no for any beginner player. After 8 years of experience, you guys can definitely trust me. Now, this isn't a beginner's guide. I've made plenty of those, but I do want to shoot you guys a few tips as a beginner player of what you should be doing before you actually go out for trophies, go out for grinding, attempt to spawn a Great One. But like I said, I'm not saying that it's not possible. As you're doing these tasks that I'm about to list to you, to get yourselves properly prepared, you guys can very well find absolute tons of trophies. I'll just go ahead and pick up this diamond real quick and see what he scores. 255.78, beautiful diamond. But anyways, guys, to actually get properly prepared, what you guys are going to want to do is find a stack cache fast method. Now, I've made several different videos on stacking cache fast. Out of all of them, Emerald Coast with crocodiles is definitely going to be the #1. Make sure you guys go watch that video. Get yourselves $300,000 to $400,000 worth of money. Buy 16 tents and 16 tripods. You don't need all 32 tripods, but if you want to push yourself to the map's limit, then go ahead. You don't got to buy them all at once either. You can also buy more in the future. If you're a very beginner, definitely watch a Call of the Wild beginner's guide and just get the lay of the land in general. It's simply not possible to set up and spawn yourself a Great One as an extreme beginner player, meaning you have no weapons, no scopes, nothing like that. And what you guys are also going to want to be is max level, or at least somewhat close to max level. The reason for this is because of the fact that you guys are going to need skills and perks. If you guys don't know your way around the skill and perk tree, definitely recommend watching my skills and perks guide that I just posted. Should be the last full long form video on the channel before this one. Now, it is very possible to still spawn a Great One without any perks and skills, but there are some technically essential ones in there that I like to advertise, especially things like recoil management. You can also manage your wobble because the dude wobbles quite a bit. You can hold your breath for longer to steady your aim for longer. There are a ton of perks in there that are just going to help you out in general. Now, what I'm not saying is that you can't get set up right now. Go ahead and go back and just get perks as you continue to get set up and continue to kill animals. How you do it is entirely your choice, but I would just highly recommend having perks and skills. In order to get them all, you guys are going to need to be most likely level 60, and you guys are going to need some experience with shotguns and rifles. Alrighty folks, so enough yakking away. If you guys found yourself as being fully prepared and ready to set up for your Great One grind, this can quite literally be any grind, whether it's a super rare grind or a diamond grind or maybe even a cash grind. We're going to cover absolutely everything that you guys do need to know to get set up here today, so make sure you guys do stay till the end of the video, because if you miss something, your grind could very well mess up, and it will. So I would highly recommend that you guys do stay till the end here today. Alrighty folks, so right off the bat, the very first thing that you guys are going to want to do, like I said, is get yourself your 16 tents and 16 tripods. Now, you don't need all 32 tripods. unless you really want to push your map to its limits. That's entirely up to you. But what you guys are going to need is 16 tents and 16 tripods. Now what we're going to be doing with these is setting these up at our drink zones across our map to make it as efficient as possible in our rotations to jump in between our drink zones, efficiently harvesting males, spawning tons of diamonds, rares, etc., and potentially even the great one. Now I'm going to show you guys exactly how to get set up in detail here in a minute, but as you guys just seen a second ago, I was across the lake here at that tripod. I used this outpost right here to run to this tripod, shot this zone. The deer in this zone are right here, and then use this tent to come over here, and now I'm going to claim my deer. I also have a tripod here for these two zones here, which sometimes have shooter males in them. Yes, I am using herd management. This is not a herd management guide. Again, definitely recommend checking out how to spawn any great one. The last video I made about great ones on this channel. But essentially what we're going to be doing, guys, is we're going to be repeating that process over and over again for basically every single zone. I am at the end of my rotation right now, and it's past fallow deer drink time, so I'm heading up here to my reset tent to reset the time. Now I do have my reset tent at one of my shot down exterior zones, so I don't have to worry about spooking these deer at all. I can just reset the 10 and go back to my rotation. You guys can see my setup here. The only reason that I have a tent right here is sometimes a male will pop into this zone. If, for example, I accidentally shot a female in another zone or something, every now and then a male will pop into this zone for reason A or reason B. But typically what I'm doing here is fast traveling to this tent, hopping up into this tripod here. And for those of you that don't know, the reason that we use tripods is to manage hunting pressure, because of the fact that if you shoot 3 deer out of this zone, the 4th deer will blow the zone, and the zone will then vanish and respawn somewhere else completely random on the map, which then you'd have to go find it, and it makes it a huge process. But with tripods, you can shoot 14 deer and the 15th deer will blow the zone, and that rarely ever happens while grinding. It's because of the fact that the zones are so evenly spread out and there's so many different zones that you guys are going to need to be shooting. The hunting pressure kind of manages itself, which also makes grinding without tripods definitely possible, but that's entirely up to you guys. I would always recommend tripods just because of the fact that you don't have to worry about anything, and it's going to save you a lot of time. It makes your shooting angles a lot more wide open since you're kind of slightly shooting down at them. And back to the process, you guys seen what I just did. Shot the deer out of this tripod, and I'm going over here to my claim tent. And at the claim tent, we walk over to this little beautiful fallow graveyard we created here, and you claim the deer, then move on to your next zone. Same type of setup here. You guys kind of get the process by now, I hope. If you have any questions, definitely let me know down below. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's not that hard to understand, I don't think. And really, once you guys are fully set up, that is the process that you're going to be doing over and over and over again with your setups. Now, using herd management is definitely helpful because it's going to lower the amount of zones that you guys need to shoot. Like I said, this is not a herd management guide. So guys, what we're going to talk about now is a lot of misunderstood information that I find. A lot of beginner players or beginner grinders not understanding. There is a certain distance that you have to place the tents from the zones. Make sure you guys take some notes with this. We'll use this one for example. Why not? Drop a waypoint right on the zone there. Jump over here. As you guys can see, I spawned in perfectly fine at my tent. I can actually run up to the tripod here, and running up to the tripods, even if it's just a few yards, does help because every single second adds up over time. That's hundreds and hundreds of seconds that you guys could potentially be wasting. But as you guys can see, the deer did not spook. They're perfectly calm. They have genuinely no clue that I'm here getting ready to blast them. And the reason for that is because of the fact that they're over 250 yards away. Now, if we highlight this one, come into here, and look at it, is exactly 249.97 yards away. Now some confusion happens because when you place the tent down here, meaning in the moment when you're actually placing the tent down, they will spook up to 350 yards, I do believe. Maybe actually a little bit more than that. And that's just because of the fact, like, picture yourself putting the tent together IRL. Do you guys know how much noise you'd be making? That's why they're spooking. EW is trying to keep it as realistic as possible. The spawn spook radius is going to be 250 yards, or somewhere around 250 yards. This deer right here is around 230, and she doesn't ever spook. Sometimes I'll come in, and if there's a bigger 4 or something, he'll be attentive, which is essentially they're kind of just questioning what's going on. Could just be questioning what's going on in their life. The life of a Call of the Wild AI deer. I wonder how that is. Usually what I'll do is I'll place a waypoint on the drink zone that I'm setting up at, from 250 yards in the opposite direction, which for that tent and tripod over there was almost exactly 250 yards. The tent looks like it's actually around 277, 275, somewhere around there. It's right on the edge of the hill there. And as for the tripods, I usually keep them under 164 yards away. Most of the time more, because I'm comfortable with long shots, but if you guys aren't comfortable with shots over 164 yards, I definitely would recommend placing the tripod under 164 yards. 264 yards, like I said. I have my tripod at this zone at exactly 250 yards. Every now and then the deer kind of split in half, and some of them will go over there and some of them will stay over here. So either way, I still have a clear line of shot. Even if I wanted to shoot this zone all the way down here, which is herd managed down to nothing, I could very well shoot that zone as well. I keep my zeroing pretty neutral. I always am 0 to 164 yards at 99% of my zones. For the claim tents, you guys have nothing to worry about because as soon as you shoot, all of your deer are instantly going to be fleeing either way. So just place it in whatever spot is convenient enough for you. For me, it's kind of in between these two zones. It shows the zone right here where I shot those last deer at, but there's actually deer over here and over here as well. I do just want to take a second to let y'all know that the Discord server link is down below. There's literally hundreds of people in there who'd be more than willing to help you guys out. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, definitely let me know in the Discord server. We'll reply much faster than we will in YouTube comments, and it's just a great place to hang out. The stream schedule for the week ahead is posted in there every Sunday, so you guys will know every single day that we're going to be live throughout the week at what time in your time range. Without further ado, guys, let's dive right back into the video. So that covers pretty much everything about the distance that you guys are going to want to be placing your tents and tripods from your zones. And you guys definitely don't have to use tripods for every zone, but for some zones they're just simply wide open where you're going to be shooting from, like this one up here, and there's just no trees to put a tree stand. If I put a tree stand in either one of those trees, if the game even let me, I am almost certain that the deer out there will not spawn in just because of the fact that they're simply at a render distance. Here, I'll show you. See? Absolutely nothing. But when you get up here to the water's edge, they definitely spawn in. They're just coming into render now. Render distance is somewhere around 400 yards, I do believe. You guys could also hunt out of a ground blind here as well, but I choose to use a tripod simply because I have a ton of them. But yeah, guys, setting up for any grind in a nutshell, essentially what you're doing, using herd management, you're going to be setting up at your shooter zones, getting the exterior zones shot down, repeating that same process of heading to your tent, going to your hunting structure, shooting the zone. Now, also abusing the use of outposts is very helpful. But anyways, guys, that is going to cover just about everything that you guys are going to need to know to go ahead and get yourselves fully set up for your Great One grind, or whatever grind you're planning on doing. Obviously, the very first thing that you guys are going to need to do is, like I said, get to a point where you guys feel like you're fully prepared for your Great One grind. I keep saying Great One grind. It's just a habit, guys. Clearly, you're going to need to find all your drink zones before you guys actually get fully set up, which, like I said, definitely recommend checking out my How to Spawn a Great One video. I already know there's going to be a bunch of you guys commenting down there talking about some, hey, you didn't tell me to find all my drink zones or something like this, and they're going to come back hating. This is a how to get set up for a grind video, my friends. I repeat, how to get set up, not how to spawn or how to find your drink zones guide. I already have made 2 of those videos. You guys can go ahead and check those out. Now I can put a timestamp in the comment section for anyone that wants to come hate. I love YouTube. Thank you guys all so much for watching. My name is Squid. This is Squidster, and we'll see you later. Send me the Great One luck. Peace.